And okay, so we're recording 3-2 and 1. Okay, great to have Ray Hennessey on the line, now part of the Kill backroom team ahead of Saturday's eagerly awaited county final, Dungarvan and Kill, 3 o'clock in Welsh Park. And Ray, county finals, I suppose they don't come around too often, but I'm sure yourselves in Dungarvan, having overcome your respective divisional finals last weekend, you've divisional glory secured, all focused now on Saturday's county final. Very much looking forward to it.
Yes, Gavin, everyone in Kiel is really looking forward to Saturday. We just can't wait, as you said, they don't come around too often. I think I've played 30 years myself, and I think I've played in 3 county football finals. So, like for a country club, as you know yourself, they don't come around too often. We're not the Ballygunners or the Ballinacourties or the Racormac's of this world where they come around often. So, we're really looking forward to Saturday's game,
Should be a great battle indeed. And, of course, you overcame your neighbours Newtown there, Ray, in the Eastern final last weekend. Another really tough battle, but edged out by 4 points in the end. And, you could see what it meant to you afterwards on the pitch with, with your players and management. You really kind of, greeted that victory with great gusto. And I suppose to win a derby as well is always means a bit more, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Look, we hadn't won an Eastern final since 2006 was our last Eastern Intermediate final that we won, so there was a 14-year gap. Okay, we won the junior in between, and but look, Kiel always tries to be playing senior football, so look, it meant a lot. And look, as you said, just at the local derby, I'm sure if Newtown had won, they would have celebrated just as much. And look, we were just grateful to be into a county final, and it was a close match, as you said, just as in a tough battle, But we knew that going in, and we no different this Saturday even as well, Gavin.
Yeah, it certainly will. And of course he showed great pace, and I suppose guys like Keane Brown and Carl Scanlon even in the middle of the field, and these young guns that have come into your team, Ray, they've really had a big influence on your style of play as well since they've come into the setup.
Yeah, look, we've had a nice little team there. Last year we had an injection of 3 or 4 lads that came out of minor, and then this year we've had Carl Scanlon, who you know well yourself from being involved in the Waterford County set up in minors last year. He's out to come through, and Keane Brown, an exceptional young player. Hasn't played much, would you believe, the last couple of years with our juvenile wing St Mary's. His soccer is kind of his number one sport, but we're lucky enough the way things panned out this year with COVID that we got him on board, and he's been a great addition. He's a dynamic little corner forward. Your real old style corner forward. But those 2 lads. And we have apart from Anthony Kiley, all our forwards are even their midfield, from midfield up. I think the oldest fella after Anthony Kiley would be Kieran Curran. He's only 23, 23, 22. So we're very young forward line, So look, you can't beat it. Youth, as you know yourself, Kevin. You have to have a bit of youth. And look, generally we have a nice blend in our team, And I suppose it was very similar when we made the breakthrough back in '95. The last time we won the intermediate title and got back senior. Was the same. We had a good blend of young lads coming through, 8, 9 lads in their early 20s, and a few older heads. And this team is very similar on Saturday as well.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we'll get the same result as in '95. So.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, just touching on Dungarvan, then Ray, just off the phone there with Dermot D, their manager. Of course, they had a really hard battle with Medeligo in the Western final last weekend. Probably won't be remembered for a classic, but I'm sure Dungarvan won't mind. And they played with 14 men for a lot of the game and came out on top after extra time. So I'm sure they're going to be travelling down with plenty of confidence.
Yeah, you could imagine there's 2 ways I suppose to look at it. You could say that. On one side, you could say maybe Dungarvan, the exertions of last weekend might take their toll, and on the other side, you'd be saying, God, after coming out, as you said, with 14 men to play with nearly 45 minutes, 50 minutes with 14 men, and to bring the game to extra time and still ground it out and got a win, And at several stages, it looked like Medeligo were in the driving seat. Dungarvan hung in, and look, you'd have to admire their tenacity there last Sunday evening. As I said, they hung in, and Medeligo have been the standard bearers in intermediate football in the county, not just the West. They've been just edged out last 2 years by Kilmac Thomas 2 years ago by a point, and St Saviour's last year, and they were two good winners of the intermediate. So Medeligo have been thereabouts, and look, they are the standard bearers, and for Dungarvan to beat them, it leaves Kiel with a tough task. But look, we still a 50-50 game, I'd imagine, for Saturday, So we're looking at it as a 50-50 game. Very hard to judge, as I said, on that game the other night. And look, we're just hopeful, So
Absolutely, yeah. It should lead to a great final because there's some great, players on display. And I suppose this gang, probably wouldn't have met a lot. They might have maybe bumped into each other, maybe underage, Ray. But two good footballing sides. I suppose two proud footballing sides who were, well up there at various stages and the pedestals of Waterford football. So I'm sure both clubs now keen to get back to the top flight as well. A big prize on offer.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, Dungarvan, I still think they're the head of the roll of honour in senior football, and I suppose in latter years, the last, I suppose maybe 15 years, they've put a lot of emphasis into hurling, and they've been knocking on the door in the senior hurling championship, and maybe football has been on the back burner with them. But as you said, they're still a proud footballing club, and they've some fine footballers there, like Gavin Crotty's good as forward as what's in the county. Kieran Power, we've crossed paths with Kieran Power when he played with the Mitchells. When the Mitchells were playing against us there in the intermediate grade, we know plenty about Kieran Power. Darragh Lyons, fine footballer. The two midfielders are two good lads, Michael Kiley, so they've a good sprinkling of footballers themselves, and plenty of youth, big strong physical team. Johnny Burke, they're a big man as well. So look, they have a good mix now of big men, small men, fast men. Unfortunately, not too many slow men, So they're a good team, and look, I think it will be an open game myself. Kill like to play open, fast football. I'm sure Dungarvan will be in the same boat. So look, hopefully we'll get a good game on Saturday.
Yeah, it should be a cracker. I know there's said be the 100 tickets per club, Ray, will be solely fought this week, and I suppose nobody would have thought, I suppose, a couple of months ago that we'd see action. And now, I suppose, when you're involved with clubs in the community ethos and preparing for a county final, it kind of brings people together. And I'm sure it will be a brilliant end from your point of view, to what will be an unforgettable 2020 with the COVID and all that, if he could bring back that county title now on Saturday.
Yeah, it would. Oh God, it would. Like, it's really hard to bring the community together. Like, and we started off poorly in this championship. We lost our first game to De La Salle, and the week after, then in the East, they played games on a home and away basis this year because they were behind closed doors, so there was going to be no money taken at the gate. So our next game was then against Bunmahan away, and it was backs to the wall stuff. We had a few injuries as well, and that win really galvanised the team and I suppose our supporters. And then the next week we had to play Newtown in the last group game, and even though we might have, a win mightn't have been enough, it could have went down to scoring difference, but thankfully it didn't, and we got the win in Newtown. And those two wins have really galvanised the team and the supporters. The supporters really come on board. And then we had spectators then were allowed in for the semi-final against Tramore, and we had great. People are yearning for somewhere to go, and GAA is the only thing really, and it's brought our small community. We're a small club, Kill, and okay, we have the Fenner in with us as well, and it's brought the two communities really together. And look, tickets, as you said, when you get to a final as well, Gavin, an All-Ireland final, a Munster final, everyone wants to go to the final. So the demand for tickets is high down our way. Even though we're a small club, the demand is everyone wants to go, children, and women and children, as they say. So look, it would be fantastic to finish off the year with the win. We've had a great year so far, but Saturday would mean the world for the Kill club to get back into the senior ranks.
Absolutely, Ray. Appreciate you taking the call, and very best of luck now on Saturday.
Thanks very much, Gavin. Thank you.
Lovely, Ray. That's super.